This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
All right, so Eddie Hearn has said this about Conor Benn. If we don't get a decision soon from the WBC's investigation, we're going to make a move. Make no mistake, Conor can fight now, but we want a ruling. He's allowed to fight now, but he doesn't want to fight until his truth comes out. Conor's made it very clear to me he wants to go straight back in with a big fight. I'll prefer him to have a run out, but he's made it clear. I want Eubank Jr. I want Gervonta Davis. I want Kell Brook. I want Manny Pacquiao, etc., etc. Eddie Hearn's statement on Conor Benn. So Conor Benn, apparently he can fight at any time. I mean, can he fight in the UK? No, unless of course he's going to use a Bieber license. But there again, would Bieber license him? Obviously, he's got the issues with the British Box Board of Control. If he reapplies, then they're going to have to open up their investigation alongside UCAD, and they're probably going to ban him. Okay, so he could go Bieber. If not, he can go abroad and get a license and fight abroad. Okay, but by the looks of it, he wants to clear his name. That's most importantly because obviously he does want to fight in the UK. He does want to have a British Box Board of Control license, all that kind of good stuff. Now, Eddie Hearn did also say as well, because I have seen the interview, that he's saying how Conor Benn, he's been out for like several months and all that kind of stuff, and maybe you get a ban, a backdated ban. Listen, I know what Eddie Hearn's doing, okay? He's trying to drop little seeds to the WBC and VAD and whatever else about a backdated ban, if of course he gets a ban. Now, several months? No, it's been about, what, 3 months? 3.5? Something like that. So it's not several months, is it? Anyway, now, as far as him saying how he wants a Eubank Jr, a Gervonta Davis, a Kell Brook, a Manny Pacquiao, well, I mean, firstly, Kell Brook is retired, right? Leave that one be. Manny Pacquiao, also retired. Hasn't he signed up with Tekken over there in Japan to do exhibitions? Leave him alone too. So that would leave Eubank Jr and Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis and Conor Benn, they've been having a bit of backwards and forwards on social media. Would they actually fight each other? I think Conor Benn would fight him, but would Gervonta Davis fight Conor Benn? I think he might do, but PBC and that ain't going to allow it, okay? Gervonta Davis will fight who they tell him to fight, and it ain't going to be a Conor Benn. Now, as far as Eubank Jr, of course, that's the fight that was supposed to have happened anyway. They'll probably try and get that one back on. Why? Because it's a money spinner, even though it's a pointless fight in reality, because they're not actually rivals. They're not in the same weight division. They're 2 weight divisions apart. All that kind of good stuff. But even so, people will watch it like they were going to watch it the first time around, of course, or the only time around so far. But as far as the whole investigation thing is concerned, I think for most people, and for myself included, it's not just about whether he took something intentionally or not. That is important, of course. But whatever evidence he puts out there, as per an investigation, a ban or not a ban, the question has to be asked. 2 tests, and they tried to sweep both of them under the carpet. Both of them. That's bringing the sport into disrepute, is it not? That makes it worse that you had VADA and they tested positive on 2 occasions and you tried to brush them under the carpet and fight anyway without investigating them. Now, had the British Boxing Board of Control not leaked it to the press, as Eddie Hearn has insinuated, then maybe nobody would have found out and maybe the fight would have went ahead. Knowing full well, Conor Benn had 2 failed tests. Whether he's innocent, took them on purpose or not, it's irrelevant. When the first test came in, right, what is this? Let's get an investigation undone. But they didn't. Didn't Conor Benn say they put it down to a mistake, it must be a mistake, and continue training anyway? And then they still tried to put on the Eubank Jr fight. That's the biggest issue. The fact that there was 2 failed tests and you tried to fight anyway. That's the biggest problem. That is for me, at least, anyway. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Who knows what evidence is put into this? But no matter what evidence, in my opinion, unless something's really going to surprise me, which hopefully it does, as I said, it's the fact that there was 2 tests. 2. And he tried to brush them away. That's not acceptable, in my opinion. Listen, I like Conor Benn. I know people who know Conor Benn personally. But That's not acceptable, man. Really isn't. Anyway, my thoughts. Drop me yours. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.